Well, 8 Days Till Sunrise is authored by Jason Dennen, someone who turned a tragic accident into his personal inspiration, and he looks to share that inspiration with others. Well, welcome author and speaker Jason Dennen. Jason, it's good to have you.
Thanks for having me today.
Well, when I was going through my scripts and stuff, I'm like, wow, I really am intrigued by this story. Take us back to the skydiving days. I know that you used to do it all the time. That all eventually led to a skydiving accident, which obviously was a tough time for you. Let's talk about that.
Sure. I was coming in for a landing. I was 150 feet off the ground. Going to land on the same field I've landed on hundreds of times before. Huge wind comes from behind, picks me up, slams me forward through a fence into the side of an airplane hangar going about 30 miles an hour.
Oh my gosh.
So my heart ends up on the wrong side of my chest because I hit so hard on the left side. 10 of my 12 ribs broke, hit my heart, explodes out of where it normally sits. They rushed me down to St. Anthony's down in Lakewood for life-saving surgery. Doctors later say that no one has ever made it alive for them to actually perform this surgery on anyone before. So they saved my life, spent 8 days in a coma, 20 broken bones, 4 organs to fix, 3.5 months in the hospital, relearned to walk. And then I asked the doctor after getting out of the hospital, when do I get to run again? And he says, well, probably never, you're too injured. So I signed up for a triathlon, and then 1 day short of the 1-year anniversary of the accident, I raced in a triathlon.
Are you human? I just need to ask you. When you talk about what actually happened that skydiving day, I didn't even know that was possible, that your heart could do something like that and just jump out and end up somewhere else in your body. I mean, you're very lucky, and there's probably a reason for that, and there's maybe a mission that there was for you to do, and that is what leads me to the next question. Recovery, what was that like, and were you always on a positive note, or did you go through a phase of, oh my gosh, I don't know if I can do this?
Yeah, I mean, the physical part was extremely difficult, but the emotional part was far harder. So yeah, there's times when you question yourself, like, am I going to come back from this? When you can't move your body, it's 10 weeks of not being able to move anything, and you question everything about your life. Am I doing enough? Am I a good enough son? Am I good enough, to my friends? And what's my purpose of being on this earth? And you really think through that, and that was a blessing that I laid there for 10 months or 10 weeks and not being able to move and rediscover that and have a plan of attack.
I'm sure your entire purpose changed. There were, like you said, a lot of questions. Your train of thought suddenly switched to other things that perhaps you hadn't in the past. I mean, I could see how that could happen. At what point did you say, I got to write a book and turn all this, put it into my own words and inspire others? Yeah,
well, I was at a speaking engagement and I finished up. Someone came up to me and said, do you have anything that I can give my friend who's struggling in life? And I didn't have at the time anything to give them. It was early stages of speaking to people. So I thought, well, maybe I'm missing out on the population that I'm trying to help if I didn't have anything written down. So I went home and started the process of writing the book. And the whole goal is to help other people going through their most difficult time in their life.
I think it's incredible that you turned such a moment in your life into something inspirational, and here you are. How long ago was that, Jason?
The 5-year anniversary is June 23rd of this year.
Okay, and see, here you are today, looking great, doing great things. Isn't that neat how life just hands you good things after something so tragic or something that could have been tragic? It's amazing to me. Well, explain the title, 8 Days Till Sunrise. What exactly does that mean?
So that's the 8 dark days that I was in that coma. I saw the sunrise on day 1 before the accident, and I was woken up by the sun rising in my hospital room when I was woken up from that coma, and I saw the doctor leaning over me and saying, "You're lucky to be alive." And I said, "Thanks for helping me," and I gave him a little bit of a high five when I woke up.
Wow. Do you remember waking up?
Oh, absolutely.
Really?
I do.
It's so fascinating to me to be in such a critical condition and suddenly wake up and no, there is a whole life ahead of you. Do you still skydive, or is that something that you've given up, or where do you stand on that?
Yeah, my family begged me not to skydive anymore. I went through a lot of guilt with the accident, so I have other adventures that I'm constantly doing. So I replace it with something else.
And you know what? Not to put a negative light on skydiving. I have friends who love it. They will do it every time, over and over again. So it's one of those things that once you do it, you love it. You got to keep going back. But here we are. Where can we get the book, and what what is the big takeaway from this book?
Sure. Big takeaway, don't give in and don't give up. People are always going to tell you what your limits are. Don't accept what people are going to tell you what your limits are. Go find it yourself. There's lots of times that I went through, I wasn't going to walk out of the hospital. I was never going to run again. I didn't pay attention to any of those limits doctors tried to put on me. And if I didn't ignore what they said, I would never be where I am today.
Yeah.
So this weekend, Barnes & Noble in Boulder, I'll be signing books. Come and hear the story. You could ask me any question you'd like about, whether it's living through the coma, racing again, what it feels like to go through that recovery period when you hit a low and you have to find a way to come back again.
It's a wonderful story. Congratulations on the book, and hey, we're all rooting for you to do great things. Congrats again. And you can also get the book. I think there's going to be a lot of takeaways from it. Or if not, go to the book signing. Author and inspirational speaker Jason Dennen will be signing books this Saturday from 11 to 4 at the Barnes & Noble bookstore on Pearl Street. That's in Boulder. If you would like more info, you can also follow Jason or go to his website, jasondennen.com.